Coming up on This Week in Torrance, we talk with one Texan affected by Hurricane Harvey, and she tells us the devastation she's seen firsthand.
Then we head out to the Certified Farmers Market in Torrance to check out their new layout.
And for another year, Honda brings back a summer festival to give back to children in the community.
Plus, Nordstrom at the Delamo Fashion Center is getting a new service that will make your shopping experience more convenient. These stories and much more just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Julie Chan. Thanks so much for joining us. Here are your top stories.
The quick action by Torrance police and local residents helped with arresting a burglar. Officials say a recent incident in the community shows just how important it is when you see something, say something. Recently, police responded to the 2600 block of 163rd Street in regard to suspicious activity after a nearby resident observed a suspect leaving their neighbor's home. The suspect was quickly apprehended and had the victim's jewelry and cash on her. Police say it was because of the neighbor who saw the suspect pacing back and forth before walking into the victim's backyard that helped them respond so quickly. The suspect also had an outstanding warrant for burglary.
As devastation continues to hit the state of Texas, millions are trying to pick up the pieces. Torrance CitiCABLE spoke to one woman affected from Hurricane Harvey. She lives in Texas about 30 miles north of downtown Houston in the Woodlands. She says it's important for people to know that this disaster could have happened to anyone.
Ramisa, tell me about your current situation right now, like for our viewers, where you are currently, your location, and how it's been over the past few days with Hurricane Harvey.
So I'm one of the very lucky ones. I'm located in the Woodlands, Texas. It's about 45 miles north of downtown Houston. So the area that we live in, it's an older community, so we have larger front yards, backyards, giving their water a lot of place to absorb and drain. Unfortunately, other parts of Houston where, houses might be tighter packed or like businesses, whatnot, there's more space for flooding, which unfortunately has been happening. And there's a few bayous that dump out into the Gulf, which, run in residential areas. So those have been releasing for the past couple of days. Everything's been overflowing. It's just been constant water, about probably like 20 hours a day.
Wow.
If you can imagine that, just constant. Where we live, it's it's a steady downpour. But and then at some points, it would pick up, get really hard. The first 3 days, there was a lot. There were a couple tornadoes that hit. I think 3 tornadoes. And if you're familiar with Houston, it's a very large area, and there, north, south, east, west, and then central. There is not a single area now, I believe, that is not calling for evacuation, that is not underwater. It's just devastated.
How has it been for you and your family? I know you mentioned to me not too long ago that your cousins are on their way because they're being evacuated to your house.
It's been just heartbreaking watching what's going on, hearing everyone's stories. And my family, thankfully, my parents, my brother, his family, and I, we've been safe where we live. The streets around us, probably for like a couple miles out in either direction, it's okay. But my cousin, who, like I said, their house is completely submerged. When they left, the sofas were all underwater. So who knows? And that was 2 days ago. Since then, they went. They went to a shelter at a church, and she was just raving about how wonderful everyone was.
Ramisa, you've sent me pictures of people carrying other people from all over the country, the American Red Cross, everyone just coming and trying to help families and people who are affected by this. Tell me what you've seen with your own eyes when it comes to humans, just helping other humans in a time of need.
Hiba, that's what has been amazing. There is no, we're in Texas. There is no blue, there's no red, no black, no white, no yellow, no purple, no color. It's just human beings. It's probably humanity at its finest, people coming through, whether, language barriers or no such thing. Everyone's just willing to help. And Facebook has been incredible through this, that if you see someone post that, my so-and-so is stranded at this address, they need to be rescued, and multiple shares. Within half an hour, you see the person responding, oh, hey, they're fine. They've been taken care of. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. And I really hope that everything that you guys see, that you're seeing on the news and, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, it actually is that bad. The flooding that is coming through and the rain, the hurricane, everything. And the people's response has just been that amazing. Harvey has brought a lot of water, a lot of devastation, but the love that is in Houston has just counterbalanced all of that.
We've seen so many different images on the news, as you just mentioned, pictures you've sent. Were you in any, I know there were some pictures of someone taking a picture from inside a car. Was that you? Or tell me about some of the devastation you've seen and what's the worst?
So what I've been seeing is just neighborhoods blocked off. And that was me. I took that picture a couple of days ago, and that wasn't even at the worst. And, thankfully the area that we're in, we've seen the lighter version of all of this. The further south you go, there's so much more devastation. And the pictures actually are of the highway that you see. That's I-45. That's the main highway connecting from Galveston further south all the way up north to Dallas. And that highway southbound has been blocked off. We have no access to it. Cars are being turned around. For
people that are far, who want to donate, what do you think people need right now, and what can people do?
So what I am doing as a personal effort, I've fundraised before, and it breaks my heart to see the 5%, service charge, whatever, to go through. And of course it's needed. But personally, right now, I'm collecting funds through Chase QuickPay. And it's through my email address, ramisaroof@gmail.com. I can give that to you as well. So I'm collecting funds through that and making sure, just whether it's, in my community, depending on how much comes in, just providing the cash to people who I know personally who've been affected. And I don't even know, I'm sure it's possible that there are people who have not been reached yet. Mm-hmm. So I think that as the floodwater recedes, time goes on a little bit, we'll see, more of that. And we'll really be needing a lot more than, as the waters recede, there's going to be a lot more bacteria and illnesses coming up. So I think medications will be a big need. Diapers for children. Any way that anyone can help, whether it's people that that you can personally send money to, I would say that's number one. And then organizations, that would be the next best thing. And just pray for us. Pray for it. Keep Houston in your prayers.
Rove has set up an Amazon registry for victims affected. You can head to the registry and search Hurricane Harvey.
And there are many other ways you can help victims who have been displaced. Experts are saying to be careful where you are donating. Here are a few places you can donate money to. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner has established a Harvey Relief Fund at the Greater Houston Community Foundation. Global Giving, United Way of Greater Houston, the Center for Disaster Philanthropy, and the Salvation Army, Samaritan's Purse are also some organizations you can donate to. There are other ways to give back during this time of need as well. The American Red Cross is accepting blood donations across the country, and SPCA of Texas has been helping get animals evacuated.
You still have time to give back to the Volunteer Center's South Bay, Harbor, and Long Beach Operation Teddy Bear Teacher Appreciation Drive. The center is asking community members to pick up a few extra school supplies for the drive before September 15th. Suggested items include whiteboard markers, chalk, boxes of tissue, cleaning wipes, washable glue, art supplies, and much more. They're also hoping that volunteers and organizations will donate goods for the teachers when they deliver the school bags in December, January, and February. You can drop off the goods at the center's Torrance office Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And we've been definitely feeling the heat here in Southern California, and as it lingers, make sure you're taking steps to beat it. Experts say make sure you remember to stay hydrated, reduce your time outdoors between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., check on elderly friends and neighbors. Also, don't forget that here in Torrance, you can stay cool by heading to cooling centers like your local library or mall. Also, be mindful of conserving during very hot weather. Southern California Edison experts say turn off all unnecessary appliances, use electric fans instead of air conditioning, shut off lights when leaving your room, and close drapes and blinds. Don't forget about your pets. They also need plenty of water and shade. In Torrance, the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library and the Bartlett Senior Center are considered cooling centers.
There are other places besides Florida for retirement. The city of Torrance has been ranked one of the top 25 places to retire in the U.S. by Herald and Review. Experts used a retirement score to analyze hundreds of cities based on overall population, median income, violent crime rates, hospital access, entertainment, and other factors to find the best places for people ages 65 and over. Torrance came in at 11th place with a 75% score out of 100, with a little over 32% of people over 65 holding bachelor degrees, 83 hospitals in the county, and the median age of 41.8. California is the friendliest city for folks over 65, with 13 of their cities making the list. The number one place to retire is Scottsdale, Arizona.
Well, still ahead, locals enjoy the last movie in the park.
Plus, Nordstrom at the Del Amo Fashion Center just made online shopping easier.
Young adults training to become police officers put their skills to the test. Recently, 265 students from Explorer programs across 24 law enforcement agencies went head-to-head at the annual Battle of the Badges. Torrance Police Department's Explorers participated and brought home first place in high vehicle assault and DUI investigation, along with second place in officer ambush. Overall, this group of explorers ranked third in overall point standings against all 24 teams. Other scenarios explorers competed in were active shooter, burglary, in progress, high risk, warrant, and vehicle assault. The Torrance Police Department's Explorer program is for young adults ages 14 to 18 years old. Men and women receive actual training, experiences to know whether they would like to pursue a career in law enforcement as adults. The competition took place in Pasadena.
The Torrance Certified Farmers Market is bustling with business as customers say they like the layout and new vendors. Torrance CitiCABLE reporter Abby Gramian has the story.
If you thought a good thing couldn't get any better, Torrance's Certified Farmers Market just did. Manager Joyce Chan says the recent improvement to the market's layouts have been successful.
We just changed the whole layout of the farmers market. We moved almost pretty much every single vendor to create safety lanes. We also created fire breaks in between the canopies for safety reasons. We also managed to improve the customer flow of the market so that customers can walk through the middle of the market easily.
Marianne Wazinski, a regular farmers market shopper, is already enjoying the new layout.
There have been quite a few new vendors, which is nice. We seem to have had quite a few that left recently, and now we have more variety in different products.
Keeping food organic, local, and sustainable is part of the reason why this rancher comes to the Torrance Farmers Market every week.
The grass is what we focus on. Anybody can call their animals grass-fed or grass-finished and feed them scrub oak or sagebrush, but ours is a proprietary blend, and that's what we focus on.
Also, there is a new farmer bringing fresh grains from the Central Coast.
We have a Kandarian Farms, so he grows whole grains, and it's all grown in his farm in Los Osos, California. So it's local and it's also organic.
He's the only farm that produces quinoa in the U.S. And so we're trying to market that everywhere so people know that, there is U.S. grown quinoa, because all of it is imported from Canada, Mexico, different places where they have warmer climates. And so he's the only farm right now, and he's located here in California, so that's something pretty big.
Keeping the Torrance Farmers Market local, organic, and sustainable is the heart of what keeps customers coming back every week.
I grew up in Kansas, and we always had a garden in our backyard and bought local produce and went to local orchards to buy apples and things. So it's really nice to get to come here and buy local produce that's not from Mexico or from wherever else. It's actually grown here in California.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Abby Grimion.
The farmers market is open 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesdays and Saturdays, rain or shine.
Families enjoyed popular Disney movie Inside Out as the city hosted its last Movie in the Park series.
Fire! That's it. Go to your room.
Throughout the summer, families came together at various parks in Torrance to enjoy a family movie night in the outdoors. Families brought their lawn chairs, food, and blankets to make the evening cozier. The program is presented by the Community Services Department in partnership with Torrance Homeowners Association. Other movies people enjoyed this summer were Finding Dory and The Secret Life of Pets.
Exchange students from Kashiwa, Japan said farewell to their host families and new friends as they end their time here in the U.S.
They made me happy and love so much, the same as 9 years ago.
For over 75 years, students have participated in this cultural exchange program, and the goodbyes are never easy. During the dinner, a collage of photos of the recent weeks played on a large screen monitor. A big cake with a picture of the students was donated by the Torrance Bakery. Host families and students read emotional letters expressing their gratitude. The students even performed a special traditional Japanese dance for attendees. Despite the many tears, the banquet is a celebration of the new and lasting relationships that have developed in the recent weeks between the sister cities of Kashiwa, Japan and Torrance.
It means a lot to me, like traveling to other countries and homestaying. Everything was memorable.
I just think hosting is really a great experience. I enjoy the time to meet young people from other countries and get them to experience the U.S., but also for us to be able to experience Japan in a little bit in a different way too.
This is really one of the greatest programs that we have in our city, and we see it year after year after year. And to the students from Torrance who have been to Kashiwa, they know what I mean about a life-changing event. And to the students from Kashiwa, I already saw that it's a life-changing event for them.
What a unique opportunity. For more information, head to torrancesistercity.com.
An annual summer festival brought out nearly 1,000 people for an evening of giving back. It was the 31st annual Honda Evening under the Stars Gourmet Food and Wine Festival that took place at the Honda campus in Torrance. People came out for the great food from various popular South Bay restaurants, Red Car Brewery and Restaurant. the Depot Brio Coastal Bar and Kitchen, and Ortega 120, to name a few. On top of that, there were 80 varieties of wine that were served. The fundraiser was possible thanks to a live and silent auction that offered attendees exclusive items and experiences for sporting events, memorabilia, dining, and travel. Some of the highlights included tickets to the musical Hamilton and a PGA Tour experience package. And there's no dancing without some great music. World-renowned saxophonist Kenny G charmed the crowd with his engaging tunes for another year at this event.
I try to feel like I have a good balance of, I work, so, I work, but at the same time I want to give back. So it's just a nice balance of showing people that you appreciate that you have had success. So I'm sure a lot of these people have bought my CDs, so here I am giving back.
In partnership with the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, this year's event was all to raise money for the healthcare of South Bay kids, by money going to Torrance Memorial Pediatrics and Vistas for Children. Specifically, the proceeds will benefit the renovation of the Torrance Memorial Medical Center's North Patient Tower, while Vistas for Children will use funds to grant money to 20 different charitable organizations that help special needs children and their families in the South Bay area. The event first started when Honda opened its campus in Torrance, but every year has become bigger and better.
So children's healthcare is one of the initiatives we support all throughout the country, not just in the South Bay, but this has been something that we feel is very important to for the fabric of the community, to make sure the children here have a chance to experience everything they can. So it's very important to us to work with the medical centers to make sure that they live the healthiest lives they can.
Officials are still calculating how much was raised.
It's a sight to see as active Navy and Coast Guard vessels are docked at the Port of Los Angeles for a very special week. Located just 10 miles away from Torrance, the Port of Los Angeles is located in San Pedro and is hosting a Labor Day annual tradition by celebrating our U.S. Armed Forces with a week of guided ship tours, military equipment demonstrations, live entertainment, educational activities, and so much more. Fleet Week takes place all over the U.S., where active military ships deployed recently are docked in a major city for 1 week. The military vessels scheduled to be in the port for the week are the U.S. Navy Minesweeper USS Scout, Navy amphibious vessel USS Anchorage, Navy destroyer USS Dewey, Royal Canadian Navy frigate HMCS Ottawa, and U.S. Coast Guard cutter CGC active. Torrance City Cable will also have crews out there and will bring you full coverage on our next episode.
A store at the Del Amo Fashion Center has moved to a new location. Oz just opened their brand new store between Foot Locker and Via Italia. Considered the ultimate gift store, it has a large selection of gifts, novelties, party supplies, toys, clothing, and much more. They also have the latest trends for sports fans, products involving newly released movies, favorite toy brands, and music band shirts.
A big-name department store is making its customers' online experience even more convenient. Nordstrom has announced that it's expanded its Reserve Online and Try-In service to nearly 40 more stores across the country, including the Del Amo Fashion Center. The service allows customers to select items online and try them on in person at their nearest Nordstrom store. It combines the convenience of shopping online with a personalized in-store experience. You can use it through the Nordstrom mobile app by selecting Reserve Online and Try in Store from the product detail page. Customers will then receive a text notification when their items have been found at their nearest store and are ready for them to try on. Nordstrom has tested out the service at 6 stores so far.
Still ahead, we have some upcoming events you won't want to miss. We'll be back in just 60 seconds. Don't go away.
Let's hear it for hands. A collection of nimble digits. They're as adept at turning things off as they are at switching them on. Especially if we face energy shortages and state officials call a flex alert. If that happens, we all know it's time to turn off unneeded lights. adjust the AC to 78 or higher, and don't use appliances until after 6 p.m. So here's to hands. They have the power we'll need.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's some upcoming events to mark on your calendar. Have you registered to help make Torrance Beach cleaner? Well, California Coastal Cleanup Day will take place on September 16th from 9 a.m. to noon. Team Torrance will be at Torrance Beach. Then on Saturday, September 16th, at the Western Museum of Flight, there will be a celebrity lecture with 96-year-old Iris Critchell, a former American aviator who will share her stories. It will start at 11 a.m. For non-museum members, tickets are $10. Plus, Marsada Chocolate will host a sweet and sake event on Tuesday, September 19th from 7:30 to 9 p.m. It will be an evening of interesting pairings. The price is $48 per person. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Julie Chan. Thanks so much for joining us.